Hey guys, my name is the Snowflake Ada and today let's talk about empathy. I believe empathy is something we should all have, not only towards others but also towards ourselves. When we practice this, we can truly heal and even help trigger healing in others. If everyone would feel empathy for one another, I'm sure the world would heal too. I know this may not happen completely, but spreading this message to as many people as possible would definitely help. That's why I am making this video today. I also want to mention that feeling empathy for others doesn't mean taking all of their suffering onto yourself. It means understanding why someone feels a certain way or why they acted the way they did, without carrying their emotions as your own or desperately trying to fix everything for them. When I say this, I truly mean it. Others people's emotions are not your responsibility, guys. Sometimes the best thing you can do is simply allow them to feel what they are feeling and be there for them with your presence. Empathy is also about you. Setting healthy boundaries is essential for protecting your nervous system and maintaining inner peace. If we don't set them, then for example our boss may give us all the extra work simply because we never say no. Along with setting boundaries, it's important to remember that some of us are naturally more emotional than others, myself included. This is called SPS, sensory processing sensitivity. It's a personality trait characterized by processing things more deeply and intensely, such as sights, sounds, textures, and emotions. People with SPS tend to process information more thoughtfully, which can lead to insightful and deep thinking, but it can also result in overanalyzing, as well as stronger emotional responses, both positive and negative, and having a high level of empathy for others' moods. That's why it's so important for us to recover more often from busy or overwhelming environments. When I was younger, I thought something was wrong with me. My family didn't understand me and neither did my friends. But now as an adult, I truly love this emotional side of myself, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in this world. The key is understanding that you are not weird. Letting go of the idea that something is wrong with you is incredibly freeing. In fact, I believe the opposite is true. We should be grateful that we are different, because that's where our unique power lies. Don't let anyone tell you who you should be. Extroverts and introverts, dreamers and logical thinkers. It doesn't matter. Whatever you are, it's your gift. And when you accept it, you can truly be yourself and use all of your potential. So what is stopping us? Why don't we naturally develop empathy from childhood? One of the main reasons is the ego. Ego lives in our minds, and it's the reason we can feel triggered, envious, or overwhelmed by the negative emotions. When we think of the ego, we often imagine someone arrogant or rude, but the ego has another quieter side, the insecure one. This is the ego of someone with low self-confidence, a people pleaser who doesn't believe in themselves, and is overcritical of their own behavior, which is definitely not good for mental health. Despite everything what I've said, the ego is not bad. It might seem that way, but its main purpose is actually to keep us safe. Safety is the ego's priority. It wants us to be accepted by others, so it tries to protect us from rejection. The ego is not our enemy. We simply need to learn how to work with it. And once again, the answer is empathy. Start by having empathy for yourself. If you feel envy towards someone, it doesn't automatically mean you are a bad person. Envy often points to something you desire. It says something about you, not the other person. It also doesn't mean you are less capable of reaching your goals. You already have everything you need. Sometimes when you listen closely to your inner voice, you may realize it sounds familiar. It might sound like your parents' voices from childhood. Why aren't you like her? She gets better grades than you. I can still hear those words myself. So that voice telling you everyone is better than you isn't just your ego. It may also be an echo of what you heard growing up. Your parents may not have realized how much their words hurt you or shaped your reality. But healing is always possible. I've worked through these patterns myself, and I can say that healing does happen. It takes time and patience, but you will get there. Here's one simple exercise that can help. Take a piece of paper and a pen. Write down all the negative thoughts your ego tells you. Give yourself a moment to really notice what affects you in a painful way. Then for each sentence, ask yourself, who first said this to me? Was it your parents, classmates, or maybe an ex-partner? Once you identify where the belief came from, the next step is forgiveness. This can be hard, but forgiveness is for you. You can forgive someone without agreeing with what they did. When painful emotions like anger, shame, or sadness are not processed, the brain treats the situation as unfinished. These emotions stay stuck, both mentally and physically. By not forgiving, you are the one who continues to suffer. And you don't deserve that, guys. And of course, you also need to forgive yourself. You are the most important person in your life, and you always will be. So take a moment for this. You don't have to forgive all at once. Take it step by step. I also recommend techniques like TFT tapping to release the negative beliefs. It can be really helpful. Building empathy is just like building muscle. You need a high level of self-awareness to realize that you actually can use empathy in different situations. Many people don't do this, not because they are bad, but because they have low self-awareness. They don't realize there is a better way to resolve things, such as conflict. If we want empathy to grow, we need to practice it. It's conscious choice to feel empathy even when it's hard. I have 2 tips on how to choose empathy in uncomfortable situations. First example. We all know this. Your partner says they will do the dishes, but when you come home there are even more dirty dishes and nothing has been washed. Take a moment. How would you feel? There is probably at least a bit of anger inside you, and that's completely okay. Feeling your emotions is essential in order to let them go. What we can do to reduce the anger? Again, we can use empathy. You don't actually know why your partner didn't do the dishes. Maybe something important happened. Instead of reacting immediately, you can say, I will listen first, then I will decide how to respond. We also need to realize that what happened is already in the past. We can't control it anymore. It can be really freeing to say, I am letting go of this anger and focusing on what can I do now. What you can control is how you react. If you react with anger, there is high chance the other person will respond defensively or rudely because they feel attacked. This triggers an anxiety and the need to protect themselves. But if you approach them with curiosity and listen first, you will be surprised how much better the communication can be. Through empathy, your needs can actually be heard. And the second tip is nothing is personal. Let's say you have a rude coworker who often says negative things, like telling you your ideas aren't good enough. This usually isn't about your ideas at all. It's about their reality. They may lack self-confidence and feel the need to put others down. Again, we can choose empathy. If someone is that hard on you, imagine how hard they are on themselves. People like this often struggle to be alone because they can't face their own thoughts. If you are sensitive like me, words like that can hurt. But it's important to remind yourself that they are projecting their feelings onto you. You can choose not to take those feelings as your own. Their emotions are their responsibility, not yours. Love you guys. Take care of yourselves.